All right. So sitting up nice and tall. Knees are relaxed. Let's roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Start to deepen your inhales through your nose. Growing super tall. 2 more. And then 1 more. All right, let's bring our hands on our belly. We're gonna inhale, feel the elevator doors open, and exhale, drawing it together. Lateral breathing, inhale. Ribcage expands always. And then exhale. 2 more. Keep growing taller, shoulders relaxed. Last one like this. And keep that breath going, even if I don't say it. Flip those palms up, inhale, lift up, and then exhale. Let's reach over to the side. Left hip bone is down, and then inhale back to center, and then other side. We're getting a little stretch and warm. Might not be able to go too far. 2 more each side. Don't worry about your arms being super straight. You're still warming. Last time. And then back to center. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your arms up. Interlace your fingers, reach up. And then start to roll off your tailbone as you send those palms towards me, round through your back. And then inhale, lift up. And then exhale, round off. C curve. And then back up. 3 more. 2 more. Shoulders sliding down. Last one. Release your fingertips. Tall spine. Inhale, lift up forward. And then hinging now, flat back. Hips stay grounded. Flat, flat, flat until you can't go anymore. And then have your hands down. And then round forward. Breathe into your back body. Hips are on the ground. Relax your head. Flat back. And then walk your fingertips to frame the outside of your left knee. Flat back. Right hip is grounded. And then round down. You might want to bring this right hand a little bit closer toward your left hand. Get that stretch to the side body. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk those fingertips all the way around to the other side. So now you're framing your right knee. Halfway lift. And then round down. Left fingertips, so maybe a little bit more towards your right hand. Left hip stays grounded. Wow, and tight. Halfway lift. And then come back to center. And then walk all the way in. Beautiful. Lift those arms up. Circle those palms. Arms come behind you. Extend your legs out in front of you. Show me your feet. Alrighty, so I'm at an angle, kind of relaxed, but not collapsed. Alrighty, bring your feet a little wider than hips. Flex toes to nose, and then point your toes. And then flex back. We're a little bit more restorative today, because it's rainy season apparently. 2 more. Last one. All right, flex those toes to the nose and then externally rotate those legs. Then coming back to center, then internally rotate. So when we're on our back doing stuff with our legs, think what's happening here. Some of us externally rotate is easier, like for me, and some of us internally rotating is easier. And one leg is different than the other, always. A couple more times. And let's turn these into circles. So we're really trying to get to those little teeny muscles in your feet that we use for balance work. Let's reverse it. Make sure you're still breathing deep. And then back to center. Bend your legs, toes are too low to the sky. Without moving your shoulders too much, drop your hips down to one side, keep flexing the feet, and then the other side. So warm up your hips a different way. Just 2 more each side. And last one. And then back to center, walk those feet in, and let's flip around. All right, sit up tall. Hold your hands behind your thighs. Depends on your length of your arms, but sit up tall. Use the traction of your hands against your legs to sit up tall. Inhale, legs are together all the way. And then exhale, roll off your tailbone and come to that C curve, just like we did earlier. Now a little bit more supported, and then back up. 4 more. Feel like the segmentation, the articulation of each part of your spine. And last one. Reach your arms out and start to come all the way down to your back. Walk those feet in, palms on the ground. Oh, crack. All right, feet are hips distance. Rock your pelvis back and forth a couple times. So spill the coffee on your chest and then down between your legs. All right, back to neutral. Spill the coffee off your right hip and then back to the left side. Now you're tipping like this. Back to center. Pretend you have an X on your pelvis. I want you to go diagonal. So your right hip goes down and then your left top of your hip goes down. You're going one direction on a diagonal. Nothing's really happening too much in your head. And then back to center. Let's go the other way. I have my hands here to help guide me a little bit. So the opposite side for your X. And then back to center. Find your square hips. And let's turn these into circles. It's like a clock. So you're going to try to hit every part of that clock every hour. You're using your breath and that deep core connection to do this. Knees are generally staying up to the sky. And reverse it. Should feel kind of nice. This sways awkward for me. 2 more. And then back up to center. All right, arms behind your head. Lift those elbows, relax your shoulders, rib cage is heavy. Feel that rib cage going down to your spine. Walk those feet together. You're gonna inhale and then exhale, you're gonna curl up. And then coming down. So tailbone stays heavy. Trying not to rock up that tailbone. Nothing's happening in my lower part of my body. Except a slight imprint maybe. 2 more. And last one, keep squeezing your thighs together like a seam and you're gonna stay up. We're gonna rotate. So try and bring your right elbow towards your right hip and then back to center and the left elbow, left hip. Now the trick here is that your hips don't move. All this movement is happening in the upper body. A couple more times each side. So you should feel your hips and pelvic floor stabilizing. 1 more. And then back to center, hold in the center, and then coming all the way down. Arms by your side. Walk those fingertips in so you can almost touch them. Hips distance, inhale. Activate your arches and start to roll through your lumbar as you lift your hips up to the sky. Let's inhale, lift our arms, circling them around. I've got equipment in my way, arms back down, and then articulating down from your throat all the way so you hit your tailbone. Let's do it again, inhale and exhale. Hold at the top, inhale, lift your arms up, and then circling them around. Arms come down and then rolling down. Making sure that your hips, knees, and big toe are in line last time. Holding at the top. We're gonna do our arm circles as we hold up. So as we are up here, we have a tendency to flare out our ribs. So try and knit them in. It's like you're trying to settle your ribs into your spine. 2 more. One last time. And then down, arms come down and start to float everything down. And relax. Beautiful. All right, extend those legs long. Definitely no hundreds today. Zip those legs together. Let's do a flex and a point, just like we did earlier. Keep them either flexed or pointed or that demi point. Ribs are heavy, lift your arms above your head, hold here. And then exhale, roll up. If you can't do this with straight legs, please bend your knees. Rolling, articulating, reach for those toes. Woo, hands are tight, rolling down. Keep that chest broad. Do it again, inhale. Modification is with your knees bent. And maybe you don't come all the way up. And maybe you imprint a little bit more. That's cool. Your version, 2 more. Inhale. $10, like each vertebrae, I heard this yesterday, is like $1 million. And so if you don't hit each vertebrae, you're not going to get your $1 million. 1 more. Inhale. Reach, reach, reach forward. Let's hold here a bit longer. So reaching for those fingertips. And then let's re-stack all the way up against that imaginary wall. Inhale, lift your arms up, circling around, fingertips behind you, not changing your lower spine. Lift up for the upper back working. And then re-stack, release your hands, reach those arms out, and spine stretch forward. Let's separate our feet hips distance a little bit more, toes to the sky. Flip those arms up, lift, 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 circle, and get that lift through that upper back, shoulder blades drawing together, and then back to center. 2 more times. Palms face you, lift up, reach through the side body, circle, and then lift up. Last time, inhale, and exhale. So much opposition here. Restack, we're gonna hold our arms up because it's good for us. All right, reach for those fingertips, palms face forward. I want you to bend your elbows down and then reach up and bending down. You can be bent with your knees if that helps you sit up tall. So reducing the roundness in your lower back. 3 more. Feel like you're pushing heavy weights. 2 more. And 1 more. And then arms behind you and shake it out. Nice. All right, if you have your prop, grab it. If not, don't worry about it. You don't need it. We're gonna add some rotation. So I think we should be working with our legs together. If that is not working for you, you can separate them. See what works for you. We're gonna hinge and then see what happens. All right, reach those fingertips out. Tall, 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 shoulder blades drawing together. Now we're flat back, hinging back. And then coming back up. Do it again, hinging back. And then coming back up. Listen up, this time we're gonna hinge back. We're gonna hold it. And we're gonna lift our arms up and then draw them down. So don't lift too far. And then watch that chest is not collapsing down. Just 2 more. Round through those heels. You might float off a little bit. 1 more. Leave them there. And as you reach up, reach that band up to the sky and then bring it back down. Just by your side, shake it out. All right, kids, it's come to your belly. Now, real quick, I can't remember if we did this the other day, but one earlier when we were up, curled and going like this, we're gonna do that later, but on our belly. So, arms by your side. If you have your bands, you can grab it. Otherwise, you can just hover. The band gives you a little bit more work in your shoulders. So everyone, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Press the tops of your feet down, and then press your hip bones into the mat. Palms are hovered. Keep them there. And then I want you to lift up your forehead. And then lowering down just towards the hover. So we're not collapsing down. So little lifts. You can be doing this also with your palms stacked under your forehead. 3 more. Send all the work towards the back. And then notice if you're lifting on one side more than the other. And last time. And hold here. If you have a band, give it a little tug. Reach through the crown of your head. One more breath, maybe lift a little higher. And then lowering down, plant those palms. Let's sit back. Just for a quick rest. And then coming forward, round up to that cat spine, that feels good. And then release it out. Okay, band to the side. We're gonna come to our elbows. We're gonna do some planks, but we're gonna do on our elbows. So roll the shoulders, keep them down. Send one leg back and really press through the back of that leg. And then you're gonna send the other one. Of course, if you want to do this on your hands, you can. And if you need to drop your knees, look, I'm in the same position. The closer your feet are together, the harder it is. If you need a little bit more stability, you can separate your feet. Make it comfy. So watch the collapse through your shoulders, not collapsing like this. You want to protract those shoulders. 3 more breaths. You need a break. Keep those knees down for a second and lift them back up. 1 more breath, guys. And knees come down. Let's come all the way down, elbows to the side. Okay, we're gonna do some heel beats. So now stack your palms, roll the shoulders up and down. Lift your legs, they're hovering. Now I want you to externally rotate them. Remember we did that earlier. So your knees are kind of going out to the side to feel a little bit more in your butt. I just want you to beat your heels. So here, you should feel work in your back. Your shoulders are stable. You should feel in your outside of your butt, so the gluteus medius. You should feel your inner thighs working. Your calves are working. Your quads are working. Keep going. If you want a little bit more, you can hover your upper body and keep it going. Just 3 more breaths. Belly in, and last breath. And lower everything down. Relax. Beautiful. Okay, let's push back. We're gonna come to our side. We're gonna come all the way on our side. Arm is straight above our head. Bend both knees. Hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked, and hips and shoulders are in line. Take this top hand, grab that hip, and then send it away from your left shoulder. So you may or may not have this little space. Keep this neutral. So you should feel your core turn on, because if you just collapse it down, try that out. That's not doing anything. All right, keep it neutral. Keep your hand there. Shoulders away from ears. Okay, guys, let's send our legs out into 45 degrees to the front corner of our mat. Flex both feet. Refine that neutral. Okay, left leg, right leg stays where it is. I want you to lift that left leg just to hips height. Up an inch, down an inch. Up an inch, down an inch. Okay, that's like 2 inches. But make it small. If you're able to keep your neutral, you can always lift that arm above to your shoulder height. 2 more. 1 more. Alrighty, I want you to bend this top leg in. Did this the other day, and then send it out. Bend it in. So the key here, it's kind of like we're doing knee lifts when we're standing. 3 more. We've been doing this one all week. I love it. 2 more. Last one. All right, we're hip height. We're gonna lift up and then bend it in. Lift up and then bend it in. We've combined those. Check that top hip. Has it started to drop down? 2 more. Hello, booty. 1 more. Bend it in, rest it down for a second. Okay, send those legs back out. Keep this top hand where it is. I want you to zip those legs together, point your toes, and I want you to lift both legs and then lowering down. Now here, you're gonna send those, your right obliques down a little bit, right? That's okay. But try and keep them stacked. 3 more. Try and feel this crunch here. 2 more. Not your shoulders. 1 more. Hold here. Let's do little scissors. Try to keep those hips stacked and I'm rolling that top hip forward or back. Teeny, teeny, teeny. For 3 and 2 and then 1. Lower everything down for a second. Flex both feet. Top leg lifts. All right, bottom leg meets the top. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep going. So this hurts, but then also maybe the inside of your right thigh. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Let's hold it. Let's lower both. And then lift it up. Lower. And lift. 3 more. 2 more. Last 1. And then lowering down. Bend both knees. Sorry, I guess I lied about restorative. Take a breath. Let's push up. Let's do a mermaid while we're here. Stack those knees, top leg off to the side, so that's all. Inhale, and then exhale, up and over. Let's get the rotation. So I want you to rotate that chest down towards, so look at your heel of your foot and back to center. 2 more. Right hip stays grounded, get a little bit more of that side body. And last 1, reach for those fingertips. Back to center, float those arms up and switch sides. Coming down to your mat. Extending those legs. Okay, flex both feet. There you do, and send that top hip. Hip height, up an inch and down an inch. So make sure your hips are even. You can give yourself a little poke. Make sure things are working. 1 more. Bend it in and send it out. Bend it in and send it out. If you need more stability, bend this bottom leg. 2 more. Last 1. Combo, lift it up and then bend it in. Send it out, lift and bend. 3 more. Make sure your feet are flexed and you're staying parallel, no rotation. Last 1. And then down. Okay. Let's try and remember what I did. All right, might not be the same order. That's cool. So I want you to point your toes. Keep it, remember, this is going to go down a little bit. You're going to lift it up and then lower down. Lift it up and lower down. So your shoulders might be kind of wiggly. That's the point, right? It's kind of like you're on a balance beam and you're trying to not fall off. 1 more. Hold it up. Little flicks, little clicks. Keep drawing that belly in so you stay on the balance beam. Keep that top hip going down away from you for 3 and 2. Wiggly today and 1 and then coming down. Okay. Flex that top leg or bottom leg too. And then bottom meets the top. Lift and then lower. Lift and then lower. Check that space on that left oblique. This one doesn't get as high for me. Woo, 2 more. Sweaty. 1 more. Okay, flex both. You're gonna move and then lift up. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hold here and then lowering down. Push up. I forgot something, I'm sorry. All right, sit up tall, grab that right ankle. We're gonna do 3 with that rotation. Relax that left hip and right hip. Lift that arm up, reaching over. Turn the chest, and then back up. And up, up, up. 2 more. Reach shoulders away from your ears. Breathe into the left ribs. And 1 more. Reach. And lower. And up. And all the way back up. Great. Come to your hands and knees. Let's just do a couple of cat cows and even out. So drop your belly down. Lift your tailbone, but not dumping too much in your lower back. And then rolling up. Round through the spine. Just 1 more like this. Alrighty, we're gonna come back to the belly for that back thing I talked about. Legs are together, hips distance or wide. It doesn't really matter, just make sure they're neutral. All right, fingertips, kind of framing your ears. So your elbows are lifted. Press your hip bones down. Squeeze your booty a little and we're gonna lift up and hold here. All right, we're gonna try and bring your right elbow towards your right hip, and then back to center. Left elbow, left hip. Trying to stay lifted. You can do a little break in the middle if you need it. So feel the whole back body working. Your hips aren't moving. 2 more. Keep lifting those elbows, not letting them fall. 1 more. And then back to center, lift, 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 reach to the front of your head, and then lower everything down. Coming to your back. Arms out into a T or cactus, your choice, but shoulders stay grounded. 1 leg at a tabletop, and then the other leg at a tabletop. Zip them together. We're gonna do 1 last core thing here, and we're gonna stretch it out. Alrighty. So we're gonna sway those legs down to one side, shoulders stay down and back to center. So not letting the seam of those legs separate. And with your arms like this, it's reminding you to not let them fly off. Work in that core, 2 more. All right. 1 more. Alrighty, release your arms, keep those feet flexed and bring your legs all the way down to the right, but keep those shoulders down. You can look over that left shoulder, reach, looking at those left fingertips. 1 more breath. Head back to center, zip those legs together again and draw them back up. And other side. Dropping down. Only as far as you can keep that shoulder on the ground. Looking over that right shoulder, looking at those right fingertips. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Back to center, head. Bring those legs back together. All right, let's just rock up and down a couple of times. Chin to chest. Kind of like rolling like a ball. 3 more. 2 more. That's 1. Bring your legs down. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Feel those hip bones grounded. Hips are heavy, but ribs float. Feeling so tall. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale down. 2 more, inhale, lift up. Great job, last time. Give your friends a wave, say hello, and we are finished. Thank you guys, hope you enjoyed. Last day of August. Stay tuned for what's happening next week, assuming that we get out of 15, I'm not sure the gym's gonna open. I think I'm gonna send out a little survey. So if you would please kindly answer my questions to help me and help inform me of what you guys want kind of going forward. So thank you.